Hey everyone, a Complex back with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you about the Legionnaires Tomb offering that is available in Anthem currently. Now, with these tomb offerings, you can get gear that is legendary at the 80 power as opposed to its natural 75 power. So it is a +5 power from its normal base. You do have to be a pilot level 30, which is the max level for a pilot, in order to get the gear to drop at its highest level. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want to make these Legionnaires Tomb offerings, don't worry, you can still get 80 power legendary gear by just simply playing a GM3, pretty much doing anything really in GM3 and getting a legendary drop that way. Or you still have Herschel's Seasonal Store, which you can exchange crystals for boxes to open up with legendary gear at the 80 power. But today I wanted to walk you through everything that you need to know about getting the most out of the Legionnaires Tomb offerings. So when you enter into any of the Legionnaires tombs now, you will notice that there are the 4 different ember colors and what look like offerings, and that's exactly what you're going to do. Each of the offerings requires something a little different as far as Ember Count goes. It starts with uncommon and works all the way up to masterwork, with uncommon needing the most embers with 400 and masterwork needing the least amount with 100. Now, that is because of the rarity between uncommon and masterwork, but honestly, if you've been playing the game for any amount of time past the main story, you're actually probably going to have more masterwork than anything else. Now, once you make the offering, the item just kind of goes into your backpack like it would if you picked it up naturally throughout the world, and you will see what it is after you extract from free play and look at the items that you received while out and about. So that is something to bear in mind. You won't see what it is right away. Now, you might have noticed that each of these items need something called a Guardian token. Now, you get the Guardian tokens through doing daily and weekly activities. So you will see that next to the weekly or daily tasks that you have, they have the little Guardian token symbol next to them, so you know exactly what you need to do in order to get them. Each of the offerings that you'll make at the various tombs all require 1, so you have to make sure that you have 1 in order to make the offering and to get your legendary piece of gear. You can also see how many of each of the tokens that you have in your bar in the upper left corner, where you can see how much crystals you have, how much coin you have, and everything like that. So it is all listed there and really easy to see. Now, you can actually fast travel to each of the tombs when you're out in free play. If you open up your map and you find one of the tombs that you'd like to go to, you will actually see it says a fast point travel. So on the PC, all you have to do is click on it, hit the space bar, and it should take you there automatically and actually put you directly in the tomb, so you don't have to go through multiple load screens, which is really nice. Now, something to bear in mind, though, is that each of the tombs have something different that they're going to offer you. The Tomb of Artinia is going to give legendary weapons. The Tomb of Kareth is going to give legendary gear. The Tomb of Yevenia will give legendary support gear and universal components. And the Tomb of Gons will give legendary melee weapons and javelin-specific components. So you just want to make sure, depending on what you're looking to get, that you are going to the correct tomb, so then that way you don't get an incorrect piece of gear in the end. Now, you will also notice that it does say when you go ahead and make the offering, it will tell you that like this place is going to give you a component or support gear, so you do know ahead of time what you're going to get. Now, the one thing that I had mentioned earlier and I wanted to reiterate again is that depending on the rarity of the ember that you pick in order to make the offering depends on how many of the ember that you're going to need, with uncommon being 400 and the masterwork being 100. Now, most of us probably have plenty of ember floating around, and it really doesn't matter what we use. But like for myself personally, I like using the epic sigils, especially before any GM3 missions. So I didn't touch any of the epic offerings when I was testing all of this out. So that is something to bear in mind and to be mindful of, because 400 ember does go by rather quickly. So if for some reason you wanted an uncommon ember stockpile, maybe just spread it out amongst what kind. The other stuff that you might need for it, as far as like weapons parts or alloy or whatever the offering needs in additional to the ember, and the Guardian token doesn't seem to change, so that you don't have to worry about. But just keep in mind your resources in case you think that it might be useful down the road for you. Y'all, that is pretty much it. That is everything you need to know about the Tomb of Legionnaire offering. I actually really like this as a resource, especially if you're somebody that isn't comfortable grinding out GM3 for the plus 80 legendaries. This is a fantastic alternative to get you kind of higher geared, and then that way you can go into the GM3 stuff and to be a lot more confident about it. So if you are somebody in that boat, I'd highly suggest checking out these various Legionnaire tombs and making the correct offering and getting yourself some better gear down the road. If you have any questions, though, leave it in the comments down below or find me on Twitch. I do stream Anthem at least once a week and always happy to help when and where I can. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.